Good evening, everybody, on this fine Sunday evening. Yesterday, I did a recording with my good friend Andy from Finding Finance, and I think we made a very good show or interview where we covered what we cover most of the times, uranium, gold, and silver, commodities, overall macro. I think it was a pretty good, one of the better videos that we did together. So I highly um, hope that you will go and see that video on his channel at finding_finance. I'm sure you will like it. And today I will go into uh, a weekly wrap up. What can we expect in the near future, longer term as well? Most of the charts were also posted yesterday in the video with Andy. So yeah, and I have added a few more just to spice it up a bit. So yeah, let's have a look at the charts. Let's have a look. See, as you know, silver 26 is what we're looking for to break 26. And why? Well, there are multiple reasons. We have this long-term trend line here from 2011 coming all the way down, as you can see, and the highs are at $26. We have a shorter term, but still somewhat long term. It's a 1.5 year inverted head and shoulders with a neckline roughly at the 26. So yeah, 26 for silver is where you should be looking to, in my view at least, where silver will go a lot higher, a lot quicker than people will actually think. So 26 for silver is a good number to get past. And last week we have a big reversal candlestick, you can say, or we have a big flush down, and then ended up in the upper range of this candle here. So a big hammer, even though the hammer is usually coming at the end of a downtrend or an uptrend. But still, I like this reversal intra-week. So hopefully we can clear this bad boy right here, which is what we want to look for. There it is, 24.6, 24.5. This is my goal for this week to clear. If we can do that, then we have a shot at the the golden trend line here at 26. So 24.5 is where we need to clear for silver. Okay. And then we have gold, quite similar. Um, we had this bearish wedge here, which we broke, excuse me, guys, like a few weeks ago. And we are in this bull pennant here, and we really want to break above, let's call it the highs here at roughly 1980 in that range. That would be very nice to get above and also ultimately to get back into the wedge. That would be very bullish for a fake out to the downside. So yeah, gold is not looking as good as silver, but still it looks okay. For the downside, we don't want to lose 1936 in that range because then I think we could go way lower here, maybe down to 1800s. So that would sting a bit, but still perfectly normal. Gold to silver ratio. I love this here. This is on the weekly. Maybe I should go on the daily. Maybe it's better. Yeah, because you can see the technicals better. Head and shoulders, blue neckline, breakdown, retest, resumption. If this resumption can take out the lows here, that should mean that silver and gold will go higher. And we will probably end up down here at the 78 roughly. And it's a big long-term trend line, as you can see here. So if we can tag this trend line here, I think this would be the fourth time that we hit this trend line. So fourth time is often where you will see the break. And if we do, we will go all the way down to 75, this low right here. So yeah, I think we could be in for a big surprise for gold and silver if we can break the lows here at 80.5 in the gold to silver ratio. So yes. Platinum. Actually, I posted this chart last week. Can't remember the exact day. We had a small fake out to the downside, and then we popped right back in. We broke out of this very, very small wedge as well, and we are back into the big. Let's call it a bearish wedge here, but still we are above. So now we need to climb higher, and hopefully we can get up to the blue line here. And if we can get that straight visit here, then I would say we are going for a head and shoulders. I love head and shoulders because you can actually, in some cases, you can see them from a mile away. Uh, but if we can get a straight line here, then I would say inverted head and shoulders uh, with a high percentage of accuracy. So yeah, platinum looking good, but we cannot lose the 964. That low here, we cannot lose that because then we will visit this low here very quickly at 900. So yeah, it's on a thin ice right now, but still good, still good. And now to something very different. Look at this chart here. I just noted it today, actually. This is wheat, a 5-year long chart. As you can see here, the white support and resistance, horizontal support and resistance, all the way across. We had this big, huge spike up here early 2022, the invasion, and then we came zigzaggedy down here. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now blasting off again, breaking out of the golden trend line coming down here. This is the big move for wheat, and I think this could be the start of wheat starting to climb higher again to some degree. So wheat looking insanely bullish right here, right now. There's no denying that. You could also add a trend line across here, as you can see. Small figure to the downside to tag the trend line or the support here, and then boom. So wheat looking insanely good at this point in time. Corn, I think if wheat will have more upwards momentum, corn will follow. As you can see, we had a breakdown here. Now we're doing the retest, as you know. So it needs to clear this high here. Then corn will follow. If not, it should roll over. But as I mentioned, if wheat has a lot of momentum here, this will follow because they are so correlated, you know. Silver, excuse me, sugar, still sitting in a big, um, bull flag. I actually don't think this is complete yet. I know many people are looking at this and say this will break, but typically I think it's incomplete because we only had a smaller wave. I think we need a big account, maybe all the way down here, then boom, or just a small zigzag. Um, it doesn't look complete to me, but I could be terribly wrong. The momentum is really strong here. So yeah, let's look out for the break here. And as you know, silver and sugar are very high correlated to each other. So if sugar starts to break up here, silver should follow. Nickel, nickel. Look at this here. Long term, very long term, but it's more, roughly 8 years. We were pounding on this resistance line here for a long time, and then came the famous nickel squeeze, big vertical hockey stick, right? And then they did a lot of shenanigans to to stop this move on the exchanges, all the way down here into a double support, visiting, the golden resistance coming here. And I think we're going to blast through this for a nickel. It looks really good. Very clean double bottom into major long-term support. This is a very good setup. Very, very good setup. I think if we go to the daily, now this looks weird to me. It's not updated on the daily. Okay, 8 hourly. There it is. Excuse me. Let's see how the trend line is. It's roughly somewhere here. Okay, so we still have something, a bit of a work to do, but I think it will break. It will break. So nickel is looking really, really good here. Yeah. And now let's look into the ETFs. I have some drawings here from yesterday's interview, but basically we broke out. Oh, uh, go away, go away. There it is. Okay, so basically we broke out of this golden resistance here. As you know, if you have been following my work, this has been in play for a long time. We have broken out, looking at the intraday, or excuse me, intra week on the daily, breakout, retest, resumption, hopefully. So we need to clear 23.3. Then we have confirmed the breakout with the retest and resumption over the breakout high. If we roll over here, back into the wedge, obviously very bearish, because a lot of people has gone long and they will have to cover. So look out for these two levels here. As you can see, the green one and the white one. Whatever happens in here is basically more or less just noise until we clear one of them. So URNM on the weekly, I will not remove the doodles here. We are still, actually I will. We are still waiting for the breakout. Nothing much to add. We need to get above. We need to get above. There it is, $26 for URNM. When we clear that, in my view, if the backtest holds and all that good stuff. But anyways, if we clear that, I think there's a very, very high percent chance that we are going for leg number 3 in this uranium bull market, right? So this is the first leg up, correction, leg 3 up, and then you have a 4 or 5 at some point. But let's focus on wave number 3, actually. I think we are very close to to uh, to start a major leg up for uranium. So we need to get above the white and then obviously make a higher high here at 38, 39, and then it's go time. URNM, even though URNJ, excuse me, even though we don't have much data, there are still some structures to look at, bearish pennant, into a longer term formation here, small fake out to the downside, and then visit the upper golden trend line, breakout, retest, and hopefully resumption. So what's the level we need to clear? It's 18.5, and we don't want to lose 17. These are the other two levels. Anything in between, just noise, in my book anyways. So what happens here doesn't matter. We want to stay above the golden trend line here, but still, yeah, should be okay. The uranium spot price or the spot physical uranium trust. This is just, in my view, textbook breakout here. We broke the red resistance 2 weeks ago. Retest, resumption, looking insanely good. Nothing more to add. Quickly, lithium. Look at lithium here. Major run up here, 400%. Big consolidation. Excuse me. One big flag here, consolidation, and we are breaking out to the upside. That's how I see it. I can't see this go lower in my view because of the structure. It looks really good. Lithium, awesome. Looks good. Excuse me. Okay, oil on the weekly. We are in this downtrend here, in the channel here. We need to hold this golden trend line here. Ultimately, this one down here. If we cannot hold, we'll get a flush, I think, all the way down to like 50, 55, whatever. But yeah, we're still in a downtrend, and the first step would be to clear a 75, this white one here, and to get above the channel. When we get above the channel, then in my view, we should be looking for buying the first pullback you see, if that were to happen. But still in a downtrend, so yeah. I will actually, this is nat gas here. Just delete this arc here. This is nat gas in the US. Last week, we broke out of a longer term formation here. And I think we're going all the way up to this low here at around 3.5. And also, we have this downward trend resistance here coming down. So I think we'll be here. We will get resisted. And then we will see how big the pullback will be. Oh, excuse me. That's my take on nat gas. Looking at the Dutch nat gas, you can see here we had a big breakout last week. Big run up here. Oh, big run up here, all the way up, and then just a sharp move down. Actually, I want to see how the FIP is acting here. What are the FIPs doing? Getting it's a they won't respect it that much on the log scale. But anyway, we have a big breakout here on the nat gas, and I think we will make some sort of base here in some way, and then we will go higher, into the winter time for Europe. The dollar is actually got rejected here, and now I think we're going all the way down to 100.8. And if we lose that, it's a big level on the short term. But if we lose that level, you can see here, I can't see it, but I will zoom out. But this is the golden trend line coming down. Then we will visit roughly 96, 97 for the dollar. And this big candle coming here, this one here, on the 15th, were the day the European Central Bank raised interest rate 0.25%. And the previous day, I think it was the American Central Bank didn't raise. So it got hammered big time. So so yeah, but I think we will go all the way down here at some point, but we still have some support in this cluster here. So it should get some sort of pushback here shorter term, but I think ultimately 100.8 will be visited if it follows this trajectory. SILJ, we had let me zoom out here a bit. This is the longer term inverted head and shoulders that we're looking at. We had a big, small pop here above the neckline, came all the way back down. Then ever since we've just been in an Elliott wave downward here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and maybe we only get an ABC, but we try to break out this Friday, and it could be very nice to get a breakout here early this week that we are going into. That would be awesome to get some upwards momentum here again. The Brazilian ETF, I will go to the nominal scale because it's more clean. As you know, one big squeeze. We are just waiting for a break of this golden trend line coming all the way down here. When we do, there will be many opportunities in the Brazilian markets. But until then, it's all noise within the squeeze here. But we are getting close to the apex, as you can see. So it looks really good. Let's zoom in here a bit closer here. The weekly inverted head and shoulders here, neckline blue, big pop. Also, we broke this golden trend line down here. I think we are going for a retest or a test of this major, what is it, 15-year long term trend line. Maybe a bit of pushback, and then we will go. That's how I see it, until proven otherwise. The energy sector is squeezing up here. Looking back 2 years, we're just squeezing here. A bit of a fake out below. Hopefully this will be a fake out, and then we will zoom higher for the energy sector. XME, which is the metals mining ETF. We had a breakout last week, this pennant here, bullish pennant, bullish wedge, whatever you want to call it. But we still need to take out the shoulder high here at roughly 60, let's call it 60, to negate this overall head and shoulders. So I think if we can grind up here and then break at some point, that would be very bullish, negating all this stuff here. But this for now, I'll take it. I will take it. XOP, again, a breakout of this squeeze that you can see here coming across, and then you have the bigger golden trend line, but also the smaller one here coming down, and we broke out last week. So that indicates to me that that we're gaining momentum here in the XOP, the oil and gas explorers. You can see the long-term play here, in my view, is still a 10-year long inverted head and shoulders. And I think we will go and attack the neckline once again here at around 170, 175, maybe if you count these highs here at 180. But still, long term, it looks very bullish. And we are working on the right shoulder right now, in my view. Similar, the TAN, the solar ETF, one big squeeze, as you can see here. Not much to say. We are either going to break down here or break up to the upside. But the momentum is up, so we have a high chance of going higher. Long term, similar to XOP, look at this bad boy here. Long term, inverted head and shoulders. I mean, looks good. Long term at least. Hydro actually had a big candle last week. And we came above 9.8 here. Barely, but still I'll take it. And yeah, now we need to see if we can take out these resistances coming here and gain some traction. You can see the volume is coming in as well. The past 2 weeks has been 2x the weekly. So hydrogen could be something here, but still very early. A lot of work to do for hydrogen before we can say, all right, this is a turnaround. It has been lower highs and lower lows all the way, and that's proven until we came above this high here for a higher high, hopefully. So a higher high, maybe higher low, could be. Could be. Okay, that's all I had for today. As always, I don't say this in every video, but do your own due diligence. These are my thoughts and views, on the markets, and this is how I trade and invest buy. So hopefully you will see an investment opportunity or two. If not, yeah, that it is what it is. Um, let's see what the markets brings next week, and have an awesome day. Cheers. Cheers.